Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining us as the Royals are going to try to do something historic today, ladies and gentlemen. Historic, never been done in the 2023 year for them. Win 3 in a row. They have not had a winning streak.
As we've been told, and we have learned over the many years and through great many teachings, a winning streak is 3 games. They are rare, but they have happened before.
Not this year, so it hasn't.
For the Royals, no, but, in the history of baseball, they have happened before.
But as I have been told from several people, that every season is like a snowflake. They're all different. Therefore,
did you know that actually a bunch of snowflakes actually can be at certain parts of the snowflake process incredibly identical?
But not
that it's actually incorrect to say that all snowflakes are different.
In the end result, maybe at formation, but at the end result, they are all different. Just like this season.
You need to get a snowflake scientist on.
That is exciting. That is exciting.
It is. No,
just
truly.
For the sheer fact that it hasn't happened yet, and it's May the 9th. Now, no one should be surprised that they've not won 3 in a row because they've only won 10 damn games. They got to double-digit games on May the 9th. But
we're here at least.
We don't care about wins and losses. We don't. What we care about is development, and it's not looking too bad in one aspect. We got a lot to get to. We're going to talk with Matt and Derrick. We'll talk a little Chiefs coming up at the bottom of the hour. Brendan Dorzinski will join us. We will get to all these people, like the Eagles are saying, we want to play the Chiefs opening day. You got Bengals on record going, yeah, it'd be fun to play the Chiefs opening day to have them start 0-1. Yeah, all these teams are like, yeah, let's start opening day. You do not want to play the Chiefs opening day. So, in fact, I am here to tell you, I want the Chiefs to play the Bengals opening day. I want the Eagles to play the Eagles opening day. I want the Bills. I want the Chargers. I want the best team there. Bills opening weekend, perfect. Let's do it. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you don't want to play Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid week 1 because you will get eviscerated. Therefore, it's a guaranteed win. Guaranteed win. We'll talk a little schedule, overs and unders for football. That is right. That is the beautiful thing about sports gambling. Unless you are from the state of Iowa or Alabama, where apparently you have no clue what to do when it comes to gambling if you are in school or you're a coach.
The rules are so simple, and so many of you can't get it right.
You're an idiot. You are an idiot if you are a college coach right now and you are a gambler. You are so dumb.
You're an idiot if you're a college student. Call it student athlete.
There you go. You're stupid. You're so dumb. Like, you're the dumbest of dumb.
The rules are so very
it's so easy.
Clear.
So easy.
And it's so easy to not break them.
Now, if you want to throw a game, that's a whole nother story because you're not gambling on it. I'm just saying.
Still another bad thing to do, but yes, different. Different point.
Mm-hmm. So we will get to that a lot today. Hit us up on our Fleming Place Wine and Spirits phone line. Now it's up on our text line, 785-272-9429. Let us know what you're feeling right now. And what we're feeling right now is this Royals team nobody cares about. I played in a golf tournament yesterday. Fulton held the fort down. Love you, Fulton. And some of this stuff, it's a great focus group because you're people who golf. Most people who golf tend to like other sports. So I walk around a bit and
you mingle,
chimmy and chatter and all that kind of stuff.
You network.
And I just throw out the Royals. Fulton, you are a unicorn. Okay.
Yeah, that I actually care about this team.
No. That you are so, and sometimes you are, and I mean this in a great way. You are so influxed and into the guts of the Royals that no one else is.
Thank you.
That's what I mean by you're a unicorn.
I know far too much about this baseball team.
The general fan cares about one thing, and that's wins and losses. Mm-hmm. You are way more invested deep down in the intestines.
Correct.
With this team.
It's very correct.
But they only care about one thing.
Yeah, they care about, are you winning or are you losing? I do not care about anything else,
anything else. And
it's
that
true.
is what I have come to find out with this current baseball team. We just talk about the Royals, and the first thing is, oh my gosh, are they awful? Oh my gosh, I can't watch them. Oh, I mean, it's May the 8th, and how many wins do they got? I go, they got 9, but they might win tonight. That'd be 10. It is. They don't even care about development. I thought, people were like, hey, they don't.
No.
Like, it is right now. The people that I talked to yesterday at this golf tournament, they don't give a what about development. It is all about wins and losses.
It's a very short-term view.
It is. And that's why I also wonder about this whole, I want a $1.5 billion from the public.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So when we talk about, I don't care about wins and losses anymore, I care about development. Fulton, I'm even.
Yeah, it truly, like,
no.
you're an outlier.
Yes.
Because you at least, even though you have to separate the two and you turn them off, but you at least can move to a point to where you stop caring, still invest in the team, but it's invested in a different way. Yeah,
man.
It doesn't surprise me that there's, a larger sect of a fan base is always going to be people who just focus on wins and losses. And I'm not trying to disparage anyone that just does that. I will always say that it to me is I will always word it as a short-term view, because you can win a lot in the short term, which gives you short-term happiness. But, very quickly, all of a sudden, if they're winning, but not winning with long-term sustainability, you're, screwed.
It would be, if you turn the calendar to July 15th, no one would even notice the Royals. Didn't like that subset.
Yeah.
Like
no, they wouldn't.
They wouldn't. Oh, it's July 15th. Oh wow. Okay.
And to be fair, that subset, if the Royals are, like 2015 when they won 95 games, they're caring and paying attention.
Oh, for sure. Oh, yes. Yeah.
But the level at which they're caring and paying attention, I would also call into question how much they're caring and paying attention, but they're at least paying attention.
They're paying attention, or they at least, seen a game here or there.
Yeah.
But
I feel bad for anyone that's turned this team off because of how bad they were to start, because this last week, for half of it, has been very, very fun.
And that's it.
Yeah.
They're gone. Like, they're done. They're done with the Royals. They're done with the Royals.
It's unfortunate.
Well, and it's unfortunate, and that's why I wanted to, I think it was you, I don't remember if it was you or Brennan who posed the question, would you rather start well and crater?
Yeah, it was we asked about it, I think, 2 weeks ago, and Brennan was on for CrossTalk 2 weeks ago. Yeah, we posed the question, would you rather start bad but finish strong, or start hot and then crater? Basically, do you want this Royal season or 2021? Because they were first place in MLB in 2021, and then their May and their June was this. Like, what is happening now was their May and June.
Yeah. And without a shadow of a doubt, and I differed between the two of you.
Yeah, no, Brendan and I we will take the slow start and we will take the strong finish. You were you got to start hot.
And I am now, I will die on that hill now.
I see your point. Because of what's happening in this discussion right here, I see your point. Yeah.
That's why if they start hot, at least you got people invested, because yesterday was May the 8th, and it was as if the Royals were, an up-and-coming pickleball team that no one cared about. It really, and here's the thing too, they, up until the last 7 games, they were boring. They were dull. They were not entertaining. But in the last 7 games, they have become much more entertaining, and simply because of the offense. The offense right now in their last 7 games have scored 7 runs, 6 runs, 10 runs, 8 runs, 4 runs, 5 runs, 12. 7, 6, 10, 8, 4, 5, 12.
That's so fun.
And they've had a losing record. We'll get
that part's less fun.
But we'll get to that aspect of it here. The 7, 6, 10, 8, 4, 5, 12. That's 52 runs in 7 games. The opponents have scored 51.
Yeah, that's the problem.
This offense, though, the last 7 games, they've been crazy hot. They've hit an AL leading 13 homers in May.
They have 13 homers, and we're in this month, and we're on May 9th, and they did not play May 1st.
And the offense has been, the majority of it, all the youngsters, which goes back to my side of things where I don't care if they win or lose. I need to see young guys improving. And the lineup has been pretty much Bobby Witt, Vinny, Sal, Melendez, Olivares, Prado, Garcia, Massey. And then I cannot wait until Drew Waters comes back, because then Waters needs to be playing every single day after we found out that Kyle Isbell is going to be out about 6 weeks because he can't run. Well,
that hurts.
That stinks
so much.
So you've got young, all of them are young guys except for one, in Salvador Perez, who is a fan favorite, who everybody loves.
I love Sal.
That lineup needs to be out there every single day. And for the most part, it is.
Yeah.
Dozier coming in, like if Dozier comes in once a week, you will not hear me gripe about that, because I would rather have one of the young guys get a lot of at-bats in AAA, and Dozier gets one every week. Now, don't put him in at the end of games. He's either in there for the first 7 innings just because someone needs a day off. Yeah. But if you sub him in late,
if you bring him in late, and that's fair.
I'm gonna be upset.
I get you.
So that's what's excited about this. Yeah. Is that this 52 runs in 7 games.
It's the guys that are doing it, and I touched on this a little bit.
That's the best part.
I touched on it a bit yesterday. Like the guy with the lowest batting average, and that's not a stat I like to use a bunch, but it is indicative of this situation. Of the guys that are hitting like a lot right now, the lowest batting average amongst this stretch is Vinny Pasquantino, but his on base clip's almost 400 because he's getting walks. Like his hitting isn't doing well. Then he turned it on last year, but he's still getting on base, which is important.
But Vinny P, whatever. Don't care about Vinny P because he's gonna hit.
I know, but my overall point is, if that's the only guy that is struggling, you'll take that because you are correct. He's the one we know and have confidence in. But Bobby turning it on, MJ has found something in his swing, and I am delighted. Nick Prado's swing looks gorgeous. Michael Massey has as many strikeouts as walks in the stretch.
Don't get excited about that.
Well, but that's not going to hold because Michael Massey, as I've always said, Michael Massey is left-handed hitting Salvador Perez. But him having patience is what's important. Even that patience does not translate to walks, him not swinging at quite literally everything in existence is a good sign for development.
Hold on a second. Massey has to do it for like 3 months for me to even remotely believe it, because yesterday I was Michael Massey. I hit it well yesterday. Okay. The next day is not probably going to go well for me on the golf course. So Massey, I know he's your boy. I know you love him, but
of all the guys to put at second base right now, he's your best option.
That is not a disagreement, because the other guy at second base is still recovering from surgery. So,
and when he hits, he's, has my amount of power.
Yes. So that's been good. And also I've seen some of this is people are talking about, they need to move the lineup around. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
No,
because moving the lineup around is conducive to trying to win. I don't give a crap about winning. I want the future studs to be at the top of the lineup every damn day, because I need them with the most at-bats, and I need them with the most pressure-packed situations with guys on. That is why Bobby Witt, Vinny, and Melendez need to be some formulation of 1, 2, 3, or 4. That's what needs to happen. And that's what I want. I've heard some people say, well, they need to move Michael up to the leadoff spot and move Bobby down. His on base percentage isn't very good right now. He's not walking enough. No, stop it. Get some help. No. Bobby Witt is the future for this team. Bat him leadoff. He needs to get used to it. People, I can't believe I'm saying this. Ned Yost really was right when
Y'all,
building this
we need
franchise.
to have a long conversation about how many of you have done Ned wrong in the past.
Yes.
And I'll be honest, I'll self-identify myself as someone who needs to correct himself.
Now,
love Ned.
You need to keep it the way it is. So
the other part is just I think you're right on the front of one. It's good for development.
Yes, that's all that matters.
You know, I've talked about this a ton at different stages. The exact spot in the order you hit is not as important as we used to think it is, because I wish I had the math in front of me, and I might have to dig this up at some point. Just because Bobby is hitting leadoff, most games, he will lead off one time, and it is to start the game. He will rarely lead off the rest of the game ever again. Lineup construction.
Well, Massey at the 9 spot, he might be getting out at the last out. Let's be real.
Buddy, let's stop hating on my guy, Michael Massey. No. He's turning it on. I believe in my man at second base.
Turning it on to like lukewarm.
I'll take it. It's better than ice cold.
That's true.
But the overall point is what matters most, and you and I've had a discussion, is it's not exactly where 1 through 9 you are with that number next to your name. It's just where the bodies align.
Yes.
And they're aligned properly. And if that just means they're aligned because it goes Bob, then Vin, then Sal, then MJ, I don't care, whether that's 1 through 4, or if it was 5 through 9, I'd hurt somebody. But it just matters that they're all in a row. I'm with you in the front of both. It's working development. They need at bats. And then also it's working. Why would you change something that's Matt Cortrero is doing constant lineups right now. The thing he wasn't doing earlier, cause it's working.
Yeah.
And he's like, I found something that works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
So the Royals going for 3 in a row this evening.
Boy,
we haven't touched on the pitching yet. Okay. And I'm going to touch on it just briefly.
Do we have to?
The pitching sucks.
It's so bad.
It's really bad.
It's
so
disgusting.
We will move on from that. We're going to talk with Matt Derrick coming up at the bottom of the hour. We'll get to some Chiefs and the opening game. We're going to find out tomorrow what is going to be the international games.
And then Thursday we will figure out the actual schedule.
The actual schedule.
Because they have to put out their schedule on the day that we have a 20-minute program. Just means we're going to spend Friday talking about it.
Exactly. That's the main thing. That's the main thing. So we will get to potential opening day coming up, and why, if you are any NFL team, you don't want to play the Chiefs week 1. Okay, you don't. We'll get to that plus a lot more. Everyone loves the list here on Mic'd Up. happens to coincide with what we're going to talk about here for the next few minutes. The AC is broken in our building. Not in Fulton's room, because he's got the room with all the important
fancy equipment in my
controls
room, so we got to make sure this air is always working right.
So that's got a separate own, what is it?
Unit, essentially,
like the mouse
system,
the mouse running the wheel,
yeah,
if you will. Everywhere else is not, and it's crazy hot right now.
It's very hot in the building.
So hot. Like
that's
right
why I'm
now,
enjoying this room.
Right now, I have like ear sweat going on because of my headphones.
Gotta love headphone ear.
But did you see this yesterday?
Oh yeah, I did. I got a discussion with a friend of ours.
It says here, it's that time again. If you haven't yet, you'll probably be wanting to turn the AC on this week. We'll explain why the government recommends 82 at night and 85 when you leave.
Let me make this very clear.
Who the hell has it at 82 at night? Well, what are you doing?
Well, I know someone who doesn't have it on 82 at night because he never turns it on.
Well, that's because Brendan's a crazy person.
But listen,
or he's super cheap, one of the two.
Both. Actually, it's more just Brendan is, his body's wired differently. It's very strange. But no, I've made this very clear. My AC, when it gets turned on, it has one constant number it's set on, and that doesn't change. I don't care if I'm going to bed. I don't care if I'm leaving. No, it stays on one thing, because when it is 100 damn degrees outside, it feels like I'm walking through a sauna. I better open my front door and feel like I've stepped onto the ice planet Hoth.
I don't know what that is, but
Star Wars reference.
It's 80,
better walk into a tundra.
It's 84 degrees in this building right now, and I can't imagine trying to sleep.
Yeah, that's psychotic.
Who puts it at that?
Insane people.
Like, if you want to put it at, like, I put it at, we used to do it because we didn't have anybody at our house, but now my wife works from home.
Yeah.
So, it's one of those things where we change it a couple degrees during the day. We can program it at 5 o'clock, set it down to 72.
Yeah.
So now we just keep it at one setting. It's 72 degrees. 72.
Yeah, 72.
You're nuts if you keep it at 82 at night.
Agreed.
Absolutely nuts.
Psychopathic behavior.
Nuts. Coming up, we're going to talk with Matt Derrick on all things Chiefs. To Kansas City to talk all things Chiefs with Matt Derrick on our Fleming Place Wine and Spirits phone line. You can follow Matt on Twitter at Matt Derrick. You can also check him out at ChiefsDigest.com. Matt, how are you doing on this May the 9th?
I'm not doing too bad. I mean, things are heating up and getting a little bit more into the off season and the fun stuff and everything. So can't beat that, can you?
Matt, I got a question for you.
Fire away.
What do you keep your thermostat on when you go to bed at night?
Depends on the time of the year and what the weather's like and everything.
What about right now, May the 9th? When you go to bed tonight, what will it be at?
I was going to say, right now we have the air conditioner on. So the air conditioner will be set at 70.
70, my
Good man.
guy.
Good
I like
man.
it.
Now, if the heat is on, I mean, this is pretty much our rule. I mean, so if the air conditioner's on, it's going to be 70. If the heat is on, it's going to be set at 65.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on board with that. Yeah, that makes sense.
So, yeah, it'll be pretty chilly in the winter, but get some blankets on. But I'll tell you what, I mean,
yes.
at 70, I still don't sleep with any blankets on. I mean, that's still too little warm for me to be sleeping. But it's all about compromise, right?
The next time you have a chance to communicate with Brandon Dworzinski, you should ask him that. I think there was a time where Brendan didn't turn on his AC even when it was in July, and he would be sleeping in like 85-degree weather.
I'd be surprised if their AC is even on now.
No, it's not. I just asked him.
Okay,
it's
that
not.
tracks.
So
we did have the windows open for a few days last week, and the allergies just hit me too much. So it was like, okay, we're shutting everything down. I mean, yeah, I mean, but if it's going to be in the 80s, that air's coming on, absolutely, for sure.
I'm with you. Yeah, Team AC. We didn't invent the AC not to use it. Okay, that's come on. That's like not using the wheel in life. All right, that's what the air conditioner. Honestly, might be the greatest game-changing invention of all time.
I don't know how we live without it. Especially in parts of this country. I don't know how. I would not want to live in Missouri, and I grew up in the Ozarks and did not have air conditioning until I was like regularly until because my mom bought our house when I was like 8. So yeah, until then did not have air conditioning. I spent a lot of time with my grandparents who did not have air conditioning either. I still don't know how we did it. No cable, no air conditioning. I mean, my goodness.
Yeah, I've told you this, Fulton. There was a time, I don't know, maybe Matt, you could have this, but in May and in August, when we started school, we only went to school for like half the day because my school did not have air conditioning.
Well, it's always fun to remember that summer vacation exists because of no air conditioning in schoolhouses originally. And it's always fun to remember the entire reason we had rapid expansion in the western part of this entire country was the invention of air conditioning.
No, but did you ever get out of class at 1 o'clock because of?
No, I was blessed to go to school in a incredibly more not incredibly affluent, but more well-funded school districts. So we didn't have heat issues.
I'm talking about all of Salina. You got out at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, we didn't have that.
Yeah, because we didn't have air conditioning.
Yeah.
Did you ever do that growing up where it was called heat schedule. You didn't go to school the entire time.
Our school district, we had no air conditioning. There was a few schools that did, but our school did not have K through 12, no air conditioning here. And closing school for any reason was like considered just the world's greatest no-no.
That's
So
true. That's
I
true.
remember we had a day that it was like a cold stretch had come through, and there were like wind chills of like 70 degrees below zero or something, and they didn't cancel school. And of course, all the diesel buses broke down because they couldn't move. So I think like 25% of the kids made it to school that day. So yeah, no, and I want to say that they probably canceled school or closed early a couple of times. But, our school district was like, well, if it gets really cool, here's what we'll let you do. Bring a thermos and we'll let you have some water at your desk.
This has been air conditioning talk here with Matt Derrick from ChiefsDigest.com. All right, Matt, let's get to it. Donovan Smith, according to Andy Reid, will start at left tackle. Jawaan Taylor, who was previously going to be the left tackle, is now going to go back to right tackle. What's the reasoning for this? Why all of a sudden the abrupt change? Something happened in the draft. They didn't get a tackle. Do they not believe in Niang? Do they think that that Morris can't get it done? Why all of a sudden are they going, nope, we're going to move Jawaan Taylor back to the right. We're going to put Donovan Smith at left.
I don't know. I don't know if I would even classify it as an abrupt change, because the way it was really explained to me from the very beginning was that, Jawaan Taylor, when he arrived, they were penciling him in at left tackle just simply because at that point they felt like he would be their best left tackle. But they left the door open that if they signed someone or drafted someone to be the left tackle, then they would reconsider things. And one of the conditions on Jawaan Taylor coming here was that they wanted to make sure he was comfortable with that. And he told us, obviously, on his introductory press conference, that he was fine with that whatever ended up happening was best for the team. I mean, he's making $20 million, so unlike some players that we do know, he didn't care which side he was playing on. But they get a chance to bring in Donovan Smith, and rather than, one, play Smith out of position, or two, have him compete and essentially take the job away from Jawaan Taylor and move him back to the right, to them, I mean, the best, most logical thing is to start with it that way. Assume that Donovan Smith is healthy enough, strong enough, and good enough to continue playing on the left side. Let Taylor start on the right side. If it doesn't work, you still have the flexibility to go back. You can obviously move Taylor back over to the left and do what you need to do on the right. But they're hoping that Donovan Smith, at least right now, has got a good year in him, that he can play that, because I think they see this as a transition year. I don't think they see necessarily Donovan Smith and Jawaan Taylor, bookends in that order, long term. I think this is a short-term solution, and then they'll see in 24 where they want to go from there.
Do you think if they were able to draft Anton Harrison, the left tackle out of Oklahoma, who was taken a couple picks before him by Jacksonville, that they don't sign Donovan Smith?
Entirely possible. I think there were probably a couple of names that they were interested in. I know they were interested in Broderick Jones, but he just did not get down far enough to them for that to really even be a consideration. I do think there was a chance that had they been able to get the right person, that they would have drafted a left tackle, and Harrison may have been that player. I mean, I think there was certainly sound like somebody late in the first round that they were targeting and the guys. So it will change the equation, and if that happens, Smith is probably not in Kansas City either.
It feels as though this is a very non-committal Chiefs team to Lucas Niang or Darian Kennard at this point.
Well, and with Niang, their concern is purely just how much he has played over the last few years and where he's at after the knee injury. I mean, they really haven't been able to see him out there with the patella in actual game action. I mean, they can see where he is from a practice standpoint, but they really aren't completely sure where he is. And that patella tendon, I mean, that guys are usually just not the same after that. I mean, very rarely does a player get close to 100%. It's just, is he 90? Is he 80? Is he 70% of who he once was? They don't have a good feel of that. And remember, between the COVID years and the injury, and he really has gotten those 7 games last year under his belt. That is really it. So there's a big gap as far as how much experience he's had in the last few years. So they don't know how much to bank on that. And with Kennard, I mean, they do feel like Kennard's best position is interior. I mean, they feel like he's a better guard than he would be a tackle. So even though the Chiefs will tell you he's got flexibility. I mean, they see that more as backup flexibility at tackle, that he's a guy that can come in and play for you in a very short period of time. But they feel like from a starting caliber standpoint, he's more suited to guard than he is tackle.
We're talking with Matt Derrick from ChiefsDigest.com. Very simple, very easy. Go to ChiefsDigest.com. Follow Matt on Twitter at Matt Derrick, as we're talking with our Chiefs insider on the Fleming Place Wine and Spirit hotline. Mike Florio just put out that Patrick Mahomes is going to talk to apparently the Hunts and Brett Veach. He wants to be the highest paid player after what happened with Baltimore Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson. I find that very hard to believe at this point. Look, if Patrick Mahomes does want this, I think the Chiefs will give it to him. I think the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes are always talking about this type of thing. I don't think this is a big deal at all. I just, it does come at a unique time where all of a sudden now on May 9th, with the salary cap as low as it is, and all of a sudden Patrick Mahomes is going to go to Brett Veach and Clark and be like, I want more money. Something doesn't jive with me. What did you think when you saw that from Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk?
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, it doesn't completely jive with a few things, but we've been talking about it for a while now that the Chiefs and Mahomes always expected to rework this thing, and I think it'd be expected that whatever the Chiefs do, whatever Mahomes agrees to rework the contract. I mean, they planned on putting more money into it at some point, and a large part of when and how much money they were going to put into it was going to be the market. And when it started to become a contract that wasn't good for Mahomes and was good for the Chiefs, but they don't want any hard feelings there. But I don't sense any hard feelings. I don't get that this is a scenario where it's Mahomes going to the Chiefs and saying, yeah, you know what, need more money. I could certainly see it from his representation because that's their job. But what I'm interested in seeing is that I do think that the Chiefs will figure out a way to add more money into this. It's going to just be, once again, how do they do it in a way that, gets Mahomes the money that he's earned up front without, once again, hamstringing the salary cap. I mean, we know about the guaranteed rolling mechanisms, that kind of thing. Wonder what else the Chiefs have up the sleeve, or is there just some ways to pump some more money into the contract and the structure that they have right now to kind of make that more equal. But, I mean, let's face it. I mean, when we're talking about Mahomes being on a per-year basis the 7th highest paid quarterback, I mean, that is ridiculous. I mean, it's good for the team because they're going to be able to be easier to continue to keep winning. But, I wonder how much of it, too, is just a little bit of maybe whispers amongst even members of the media, and maybe Florio's in those whispers too of this, that this has got to happen. But I wonder how many whispers that Mahomes gets of some guys who are saying, look, man, you are the guys that can get paid up more than anybody else in the league. And when the guy who's number one makes more money, everybody makes more money. That to me is the curiosity as far as if that's, if Mahomes isn't going to get some peer pressure from guys who are like, hey, you need to push this more for the rest of us.
The timing of it to me is the biggest question. And Mahomes did this whole entire deal to help keep players and to help with the flexibility. Doing this now, maybe it doesn't affect 2023. Maybe it's, hey, let's move it down forward to 24, 25. Maybe that is what occurs. And it doesn't affect 2023 at all. It just seems like a unique time right now, considering where we're going forward. But I have no problem if he wants more money. I'm not going to believe Mike Florio at this point in time when there's several other people that I trust when it comes to the Chiefs information than Mike Florio and Pro Football Talk. But if he wants the money, he should get it, no questions asked. Do you agree?
Oh, yeah, I would give Mahomes anything he wants and how he wants it. I mean, Yeah, you do want to be smart about it, and you work with him to be creative, so it's in a way that you can continue to still win. And I would imagine that Mahomes is still going to figure out a way to leave more money on the table. I don't think he's going to take every single last dollar that he can. But I think that really the only thing that's probably affected it to a degree has just been that one, the average salaries, whether some of those are real or not, are escalated more quickly than I think anybody expected after Mahomes' extension. And two, the guaranteed money to Watson and to Jackson is different than I think anybody expected. So those two elements are probably have kind of impacted the market. But I didn't even know Florio was still paying attention because Tyreek Hill's still playing, and I didn't think that. I thought Florio was done.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Matt. Who are the Chiefs opening up with? We're gonna find out. Who do you think they play? What's your opening day game for the NFL in 2023?
I know what I hope it's not, even though it would be fantastic and a lot of fun. I hope it's not the Eagles. I mean, I've been through one of those. I mean, when the Chiefs played in New England and they did the Super Bowl celebration, having the losing team there sitting through the other team's celebration is just about the most cruel thing that you could possibly do. And if you want an Eagles team that's even angrier than they already are facing the Chiefs, put them on Thursday night in Week 1. I mean, that would absolutely be it. I don't know. I mean, other than that, I mean, I think there's a lot of other games on the table about who it could be. I mean, I guess it won't be the Bears. That one's going to be in Germany by all accounts. I don't know. I mean, my bet would be it probably ends up being a divisional game. Probably, Chargers wouldn't surprise me. That it seems to be a popular Week 1 game. But there's a lot of, there's some good ones. There's some good, because the Bengals are coming to Arrowhead too, right? I mean,
yep.
That would be an absolutely amazing game to see on the opening weekend of the season.
I really don't care I don't think it will be the Bengals or the Bills, because I think they want those games later on in the year, so that they have something to look forward to. So where when you look at the schedule and you go, okay, well the Chiefs are 5-0 and the Bills are 4-2. Oh man, that game against the Chiefs is so important. I think they want that game a little bit later. And when you look at the past history, a lot of them have not been conference games. Like last year was Bills and Rams. So that kind of makes me wonder if it would be the Eagles.
Like I said, that's the only game I don't want it to be. I mean, I think that would be bad for the Chiefs, but and like I said, I'm having watched that celebration that the Patriots put on. And Chiefs didn't lose the Super Bowl to the Patriots, obviously. That's not, was the situation. But, for the Chiefs having to sit through and watch that celebration, I can only imagine what it would be for the Eagles to have to sit back and watch that. It would be cruel. But to your point about, I mean, sometimes this game isn't as marquee as you think. I mean, remember the last time Chiefs defended, opened their defense against the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
And, and a big reason for that was that, I mean, a lot of the marquee games that you would think, like the Bills and the Bengals, the network partners want to protect those games, and and NBC does not pay to get protection for those games. So, I mean, once the CBS and Fox protect their games, sometimes there's you're surprised by what's left over.
Are you as bummed as I am that there's no more CBS, AFC, Fox, NFC? When it comes to every game is now a free for all. I dislike that, and that's because I am a guy who grew up watching the Chiefs so much on CBS.
And and I'm older than you, so I mean I remember when the AFC contract was with NBC, so I remember all those guys, the Dick Enbergs and the Don Crickeys and the Paul McGuires. I mean, those were the good old days. So it does. I mean, especially just knowing, you could just absolutely know, who was going to be doing a game, and you would, know what time it was going to be, and which network to find it on. That's all going to be harder now. But, you're also going to end up with even more crews getting involved. And I don't think that's great, because I do think there's something to be said, that you have when you're at least on generally one network, there's more likely going to be the chance that the same crew's doing the game and they know the team's better.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now it's just another, way to, end up making sure that maybe you got 12 different crews doing a team's games during the year. And when that happens, those national broadcasts to me just aren't as good.
All righty, last two questions, two for the road. Okay. I'm going to actually give you options here. Okay. Is it
All right.
100% or 99.99999% that the Chiefs play 3 Thursday night games?
Oh, I don't think. Are they going to make them do it this year? I don't think they would do that to the Chiefs.
Because they're going to play. They're going to play opening Thursday night. Then they have to play a Thursday night game during the year.
Yep.
There's no way that they don't have the Chiefs Thursday night. Amazon saw what happened last year. The opening game was Chiefs versus Chargers. The Chiefs are going to play 3 Thursday night games this year, in my opinion.
You throw in that, and you throw in the Germany game. That's just going to make it so hard. And I think that if any team had a right, because they're going to play a bunch of primetime games too. I mean, Sunday and Monday games. So there's only so many of those. So I think they'll end up playing 2. So I guess put me down for the 99.999.
Okay, I'm all right with that. I'm all right. There's such a draw at this point right now. It really, really is. All righty. My last question I've got for you. Your beloved Missouri Tigers. Okay, their football over or under. Are you taking the over or the under win totals for the Missouri Tigers?
I have not seen the over under.
You haven't seen those yet?
No.
Really?
I have not.
We are going to talk about the over/under for KU and K-State coming up, but the over/under for Missouri 6.5. What are you going with?
I knew you were going to say 6.5. I was like, that's the one number I don't want to hear. Don't say 6.5. Man, I badly want to take the over because I think this team should be at least a 7-win team, but. You just never know anymore.
That includes the bowl game. Does it include the bowl game or does not?
I believe bowl game counts. That just is your raw win total.
I'm going to and this is one of those things. I made a resolution last year after I got some of my free bets on one of the apps where I had to drive across the state line to make my bet. But I realized then that the only way to bet Mizzou is with somebody else's money. So while I would not do it, if I had a free bet from one of the apps, I'll bet the over.
All righty, Matt, we appreciate the time. Enjoy the schedule release, and we'll find out who the Chiefs are playing. We appreciate it.
Sounds great, guys. Take care, buddy.
Matt Derrick, ChiefsDigest.com on the Fleming Place Wine and Spirits phone line. Coming up, we're going to talk all things Chiefs and opening day. Mike's up with Jake and Fulton coming to you on a Tuesday, hour number 2. Thank you so much for joining us. Jake Levon along with Fulton Cast. We got Royals baseball coming up tonight. Going for 3 wins in a row.
Can it be done?
It can. Will it? I'm going to go with a no. I'm going to tell you right now, I am not going to... I don't think it's going to happen. You want to know why?
Why is that?
Well, because the Royals cannot hit Lucas Giolito. They've never hit Lucas Giolito. And Jordan Lyles sucks. There's your answer. So,
I'll probably have to get the answer to this later on in the program, but I'm going to look into how the Royals are doing with Lucas Giolito. Because to that point, the Royals couldn't hit Dylan Cease until last night. Dylan Cease last season in 3 starts allowed 3 total earned runs.
So you were telling me.
I'm not using that phrase.
The Royals were
So I have to, this is tangential, but I have to bring it up right now. So I was doing Washburn baseball over the weekend, and I had to use that terrible phrase several times because it was the most appropriate phrase to what was going on. But I hated myself every time.
They were due. So maybe Fulton, Jordan Lyles is due for a good performance.
Buddy, Jordan Lyles ain't due for nothing but a diaper change and a career change.
Jeez. He's so bet the over. Whatever the over is.
Lucas Giolito has been the White Sox's best pitcher this year.
Yeah, not even close. He's actually been pretty decent. Doesn't walk anybody. Strikes out a batter per 9. He's been good.
For what it's worth, because I have the number in front of me, his career ERA against the Royals is 3.67. It's a full run higher than Cease's was entering yesterday.
They've never been able to hit Giolito.
I'm showing you that is incredibly incorrect. The Royals, now, they are the team he has the second best success against in the American League Central.
Yeah.
His best is, now, the Cleveland Guardians can't hit him. That's 2.38 ERA against the Guardians. They can't hit him.
They trust me. Lucas Giolito is going to shove. Lyles is going to give up 6 runs. Royals won't win. Hopefully, I'm wrong. It is National Teacher Day.
Yeah, it is.
Teachers are they're underpaid.
Yeah, they are.
And they deal with way too much than what they should.
Yeah.
And we need to they need to be, we just need to do better.
Yeah.
Everywhere and anything. Like all the money that we make in sports gambling should go right to teachers. It should go to teachers. It shouldn't go to the stupid bring the Chiefs to Kansas City fund and all that garbage. Just give it to teachers. Literally, like, just give it to teachers. Anyways, that's going to be our list. Our favorite teachers growing up. All right. Very simple, very easy. We're going to find out tomorrow who the Chiefs are going to play in a couple games. And then Thursday, the full season comes out. But I am fascinated how a lot of people want to face the Chiefs week 1. A lot of people do. The Chiefs have 9 home games. One of those home games is going to be in Germany. All right, we know that. But the Chiefs' home games are Denver, Chargers, Raiders. We know that. Then they get the Bills, the Bengals, the Dolphins, the Bears, the Lions, and the Eagles. Okay? That is a lot of really good teams. A lot of good teams. The road games, Broncos, Raiders, Chargers. On the road, the Jags. On the road, the Patriots. On the road, the Jets. On the road, the Packers. And on the road, the Vikings. Okay? So one of those home games is going to start the season. We can go ahead and eliminate the Raiders and the Broncos. They are not going to play on opening day. Okay?
No.
So
No.
eliminate Broncos and eliminate Raiders. All right? So now that leaves us with 6 opponents. Okay? We can eliminate the Bears and the Lions because either one of those teams is going to be playing. It sounds like the Bears are going to be playing the Chiefs in Germany. And you can eliminate the Lions or because they're not playing opening day. So that's 4 more games that you can, or 2 more games, giving us a total of 4 that you can eliminate. So there are 5 games that the Chiefs could potentially play to open the week or open the season. The Chargers, the Bills, the Bengals, the Dolphins, and the Eagles. It's one of those 5. I don't think they're going to put the Bills week 1. I just don't see that happening. I don't see the Bengals being week 1. I just don't see that happening. They don't want those big divisional games that have playoff implications. They like those weeks like 10, 11, 12, and 13. Okay? I just don't see that. So that leaves us then with the Chargers, the Dolphins, and the Eagles. I think it's one of those 3. I can see it being the Chargers because the Chiefs and Chargers play very, very fun and exciting games. They played week 2 to kick off the Amazon Prime season last year. Week 2 on Thursday. So I can see the Chargers. I can see the Dolphins because they're a fun team, explosive offense. I can see the Dolphins. And I can see the Eagles. The only reason I don't know if the Eagles would be a good game to be is because it would then be a rematch right away. I don't look at that as an exciting, like, I don't think they want to do that. I just
build to it a little bit.
Yeah. I don't think you want to do that. So I think it comes down to Chargers or Dolphins. One of those 2 teams.
Okay. I see the logic.
And that's why. I don't think the back-to-back games between the Chiefs and the Eagles, I just don't see that. I think that would be one more where you want to play that one a little bit more down the line, you know. If they didn't play the Eagles, and let's say they played somebody else, then I think the Eagles would be no questions asked the opening night game.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, you do not want to face the Chiefs week 1. Andy Reid has lost the opening weekend game 1 time as the Kansas City Chiefs head coach. And that was 2014 when they lost 26-10 to Tennessee. All right. They don't lose. He's 9-1. That is with Alex Smith and Patrick Mahomes. Let's go to Patrick Mahomes. Since starting with the Kansas City Chiefs in 2018, when they played at, what was it, StubHub Center, StubHub Field in front of, all Chiefs fans there in that soccer stadium.
Yeah.
This is what Patrick Mahomes has done in the opening day game. Beat the Chargers 38-28. Beat Jacksonville 40-26. Beat Houston 34-20. Beat Cleveland 33-29. And beat Arizona last year 44-21. When Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes are starting at quarterback in 5 games to start the season, they score an average of 37 points per game. Here's what Mahomes has done in his career as an individual. He's thrown for 256 yards in his very first season start against the Chargers, 4 touchdowns, no picks. The next year against Jacksonville, 378 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. 2020, threw for 211 yards. That was after they won the Super Bowl for 3 touchdowns. He was 75% completion percentage, by the way. 2021 against Cleveland, threw for 337 and 3 touchdowns. Also had a rushing touchdown, no picks. Last year, he went 30 of 39 for 360 yards and 5 touchdowns against the Cardinals. He is accounted for 18 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, a total of 19 touchdowns. No interceptions in season openers in 5 games. Averages 308 yards per game. The Chiefs offense is going to be a little bit different this year. You're going to have Juwan Taylor on the right side, Donovan Smith on the left side, at least from what we think. You're going to have a whole, who the hell knows what they're going to do at wide receiver? I mean, they're going to have like 7 dudes. Good luck to anyone who is going to face the Chiefs week 1. We saw what the Chiefs did to Arizona, and I understand Arizona last year they don't have a great defense. It's not like the Eagles defense. It's not like, the Bills defense. But here's the thing.
Arizona's a bunch of bums.
Here's the thing, though. To quote, The Rock, right? Back when he was with the Attitude Era. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't. Trying to prepare for Andy Reid week 1 might be the toughest thing to do in the NFL. You have no clue what he's going to run. You have no clue. There's nothing on tape. He's drawing up plays right now in the sand, chilling out in sunny San Diego right now. That poor defensive coordinator. And if it is the Eagles, they got a brand new defensive coordinator right now. Good luck, okay? Good luck. If it is, the Miami Dolphins, that Dolphin defense ain't all that great. Good luck, okay? You think the Chiefs and the Chargers and the Chiefs just annihilate the Chargers on defense every single game? What's it going to be like week 1? I'm going to tell you this right now. I don't care who it is. I don't care where it's played at. It'll be played at Arrowhead. But whatever the line is, bet the Chiefs to cover, folks. They do that every single game with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes opening day. They are going to put up 35 points. Bet the over. Bet the over. They are scoring 35. And I'm underselling Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid in week 1 because they're averaging 37 points per game. Who knows what Andy Reid and Kadarius Toney and Travis Kelce and Sky Moore and all of Isaiah Pacheco, who, by the way, the legend of Pacheco growing as he's played with a torn labrum and a broken hand in the Super Bowl. That guy's going to be out of the league in 5 years. He's going to be beat up because he runs too damn hard. That dude, I hope he makes it to a second contract because that guy runs so hard. That does not stun me at all that dude had a torn labrum and a broken hand. And he still went for 76 yards rushing and a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Anyways, bet the Chiefs, bet the money line, do it all. Bet everything for the Chiefs to win opening day on Thursday because that is what the Chiefs are going to do.
I agree. It's just, it
doesn't matter.
And the thing is, it's rooted in a very simple concept that's been proven even more than just opening day games. Andy Reid off buys. Like, Andy Reid with more than a singular week to prepare, historically, does very well. Like, it's that simple premise is what you really all start working on.
And I think you double it because at least
the more time Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes get to do prep.
Well, I don't
is what's helpful.
I also think it's going to be like a brand new playbook with this team. There's no scouting report. It's all on, well, we think we're going to do this. With the new wide receiving group, with Toney leading the way. Remember, Toney has only played in like 7 games with the Chiefs. He's going to be their number 1 wideout. Sky Moore didn't hardly play at all. We know that Travis Kelce ad-libs every damn route that he has because him and Mahomes, are simpatico. That you can't tell me why Juju Smith-Schuster was running just wildly free in that game against Arizona. Yes, the Cardinals stink, but there's no film on them. There's no tendencies. There's no nothing. You have no idea what they're going to. They could come out and run the wing T and throw out of it.
That'd be awesome. They should do that.
And Mahomes doesn't throw interceptions in September.
Nope.
He's perfect in opening days. I want them to play the Bills. I want them to play the Bengals or the Eagles or the Chargers. I want them to play them week 1 because the Chiefs are going to win. Like, I'm going all, I don't want to say like tinfoil hat theory here because my numbers back me up. But if you're the NFL and you want, this is a throwaway game. This game is not going to be competitive. I hope the Bills come in. I hope it's the Chiefs and the Chiefs are going to hang 40 on the Bills because the Bills' heads are going to be spinning and they're going to have no clue what's going to hit them because the Chiefs are going to run every single route and Jordan Poyer is going to go crying everywhere because he has no clue what's going to happen. It is proof every single year. I want the Bills. I want the Bengals. The Bengals.
No, Chiefs Bengals, I really think could be a great option to open the year.
Here's the Bengals players, right? Bengals players had to say this.
I think a week 1 in Arrowhead would be pretty fun.
Oh, definitely, man. I mean, there's no better time to do it, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely. I'm pretty sure that's a game everybody wants to see opening night. So hopefully to the schedule release, guys, y'all make sure that happens.
I hope you do, and you can start 0-1, Bengals fans.
Chiefs
Enjoy
Bengals is the best rivalry in football right now, and I think we should get to put it on the main stage.
I hope it is. Hey, I hope it is.
There's no better rivalry going right now than Chiefs Bengals. There's not a better one because of the personalities involved, and the fact of the matter is,
and they hate each other.
Well, they do. There's actual animosity. The personalities involved in. Both teams win games.
And the Chiefs
isn't one-sided.
And the Chiefs are going to go up against Orlando Brown, and they're going to eviscerate Orlando Brown because he sucks to start the year. He's not going to know about the setting and everything.
Storylines too. Listen, Chiefs Bengals to start the year would just be.
Let's do this.
It's got a lot of fun pieces.
There you go. Chiefs already got the tiebreaker over the Bengals if they're playing week 1. Chiefs are going to have the tiebreaker over the Bills if they got week 1. I'm telling you this right now, May the 9th.
Oh, that place would be a zoo.
But there's no way that they're going to put Chiefs Bengals week 1 because they want that game later in the year because it'll mean so much more later in the year. Yeah. That's why it's not going to happen. It's either going to be Chargers, Dolphins, or Eagles. One of those 3. Who are you? Or official pick? Who do you think?
Chargers. They've already shown they're willing to do it early because they did it week 2 last year. Yep. Those games are historically competitive. So even when Chargers and Chiefs were week 1 time before in the Mahomes era was still a close game. Those are historically competitive games.
I don't want it, but I think it's going to be the Eagles. I don't want it to be.
Open you a Super Bowl rematch? That's still fun.
Coming up next, it is National Teachers Day. Our favorite teachers growing up. Coming up next, everyone loves the list. the list today. It is very simple. It's National Teacher Day. Shout out to all the teachers out there. You're underpaid. You deserve better.
Two of my best friends are teachers. They are woefully underpaid. Use proper English.
They're terrific.
Yeah.
Hopefully you don't have an English teacher in your list here. Since you,
I have English teacher on my list. One of my best friends is an English teacher. They understand how bad my English is.
Alrighty, what do you got? Number 4, favorite, best, most influential.
Yeah.
It's kind of your list,
Yeah.
obviously.
Number 1, I will just openly say, somehow this ever made its way into these 4 people. This is not ranked in how much I care about all of you. It's just kind of there. Number 4 is one of my high school English teachers, Mr. Bradshaw. Love Bradshaw. Love Bishaw. He was great.
My number 4, she was my chemistry teacher my junior year. It was the toughest class I think I ever took in high school. So hard. Mrs. Seaton. My chemistry class in high school was harder than my chemistry class at Washburn. She was awesome.
Brutal, but awesome.
She was awesome. She prepared me so well.
Number 3, my middle school social studies teacher, Mr. Hop, got me into the geography bee where I took 2nd place. That was awesome.
Nice.
It's just a fun memory.
Yeah. Number 3, at Washburn, I took 3 classes from him. Dr. Bob Beatty. I'm a political science minor. So I enjoyed his classes were hard. His tests were all fill in the blank and short essay. That sucked. Because
it's brutal.
Yeah, it's tough. But he was a fantastic professor. Really like Dr. Bob Beatty.
No, that sounds great. Number 2 for me, how she ever put up with all of my crap is still impressive all these years later. Mrs. Kerr, my high school French teacher for 3 distinct years. We had French there. I went through all 3 levels. How she never wanted to kick me out, I will never know, because I'm overall not a bad student, but during especially my senior year, my senioritis kicked in, and she still liked me. I don't know how, but I appreciate it.
When I had her, it was Mrs. Schrog. Now it's Miss Abker. She was my AP English teacher my senior of high school. She prepared me very well for college. She did no nonsense. Really liked Mrs. Schrog than Mrs. Abker. Great teacher there at Salina Central. Fantastic.
Number 1's pretty easy for me. It's my high school speech and debate coach / teacher who is the entire reason I can public speak in any level today. Mr. Rice is the only reason I can even do this job.
Nice.
Only reason.
One of my favorite teachers. I had so much fun that year. And I'm going way back. 4th grade.
Oh, it's the Wayback Machine.
Elementary school. Mrs. Castleman. She was awesome. Shout out Meadowlark Ridge. We were the Meadowlark Ridge Meadowlarks. Yeah, that's right. Mrs. Castleman, you were terrific. Those are my 4. Go thank your teachers. They're underpaid and they do too much. They are so important. Coming up next, we got a lot to get to with Brendan Dworzinski. going for 3 in a row. It hasn't been done yet this year. Don't think it's going to happen tonight with Jordan. If it was anybody other than Jordan Lyles, Fulton, I probably would be like, you know what?
Buddy, I got some bad
right.
news for you. You got one pitcher right now who could go there and not make me worried.
No,
Every other guy you're throwing, I'm worried.
No, Lyles is a guarantee. He's guaranteed.
I can say the same thing about Brad Keller and Brady Singer.
But I think they can,
If you say you think Brad Keller can turn it around, I'll walk out of the studio right now.
No. He stinks, but I think he has a better chance for just one day getting it together for 4 innings.
See, I firmly disagree at this point.
Oh, Lyles, no. 0 chance of that happening. I was in attendance watching that batting practice there. Lyles
also watched Brad Keller throw batting practice.
He doesn't throw batting practice. He just walks a bunch of dudes.
That's honestly worse.
So if it was Brady Singer, if it was literally anybody, I don't want to poke fun at Ryan Yarbrough right now because that too got.
I won't poke any fun at him.
Man.
He was pitching great until he got his multiple head fractures.
Yeah. Oh man, that's rough.
Hope he's okay.
That really is. We bring in Brendan Worzinski of 580 Sports Talk. Brendan, today is National Teachers Day. Shout out to the teachers.
Hell yeah.
That was our list today.
Pay them more.
We agree with that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Treat them better.
Yes.
Don't be like, why aren't you doing this to my kid? No, you're the parent. Do better. Give me your favorite teachers.
Yeah, I don't know if I could put these in an order. I do have 4 pretty easily though. Mrs. Robinson, my 4th grade teacher.
I had a 4th grade teacher too.
She actually lived right down the block from me.
Oh,
she grew up in a house and then
you were under more pressure.
Obviously, she lived like 3 houses down, and then she grew up, got married, and moved in next door. And her parents still live there. Her maiden name was Clark, and her parents gave out Clark bars for Halloween. It was very funny.
Lean into it.
So my 7th and 8th grade English teacher, I had the same teacher both years. Ms. Tabbitt. My radio teacher in high school, Mr. Thomas.
Yep.
Makes sense. Why
Great
that?
Guy.
Yeah. Incredible guy. And then I know you don't know him.
I don't know.
And then my, one of my journalism professors at KU, Lisa McClendon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, Lisa, best journalism professor in the biz. Easy.
Nice. Do the Royals win 3 in a row?
No, absolutely not. No chance. Interesting note about Brad Keller. We're going to talk about this on 580 Sports Talk today. So Jim Bowden over at The Athletic put together a list of teams and players to watch as we get closer to the trade deadline this year.
Wait, stop.
Let him finish his thesis.
Stop.
It could be Brad Keller
Now,
for like 2 baseballs.
First thing, it really feels like something they just said, Jim, you have to post something. Like if you're on payroll, you have to put something online because it was 3 teams and 8 players. Like, how'd you come up with these specific lists? I don't know. It felt like nonsense. Anyway, there were 2 Royals on the list. One was Aroldis Chapman. Duh. That's why the Royals signed him.
Yeah.
Just don't pitch him in back-to-back games.
Yes. Like, no duh. He was number 3 on the list. Number 7, I believe it was Brad Keller. If anyone wants back end of the rotation help, go get Brad Keller. And he said, hey, maybe not a couple good starts in a row, but there's an option for you.
Please, someone take him. Please, someone take him. Please.
Brother, what are you
I
talking
will take
about?
anything.
That just tells me that
I will take a bucket of slightly used baseballs.
That tells me that Jim Bowden does not watch the game of baseball.
He definitely does not.
He doesn't. There's no way. He got to like 5 guys and was like, damn it, I got to get to 8? Who sucks right now? Oh, the Royals do. Hey.
Yeah, let's
That's a
dig
name
through.
I know.
Yeah.
Did he like look at like the first 2 starts of the season and then went, yeah, then didn't look at all the rest of the way? Like what?
Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just saying, I don't know what he was thinking, but I found it
Listen,
to be
if
very
Jim's
funny.
right and someone wants Brad Keller, please take him.
Trade him now
Yes,
on May the 9th.
grab him. Any price is
Who do you have
worth it.
number 1? Shohei Ohtani, right?
No. Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, he's going to get traded.
No.
You don't think he will?
Nope.
No chance.
Think he's going to go to free agency?
No one is going to pay the price the Angels should and will ask for.
Here's
if
the other
you,
thing.
If you thought Juan Soto got traded for a lot, I want you to multiply that by 15.
Hold on. Are the Angels like in it?
Yeah, they're lingering around. Here's the thing, though.
What do you mean they're in it? They're 2 games back of first. They're in it. So they're not going to trade. They're not going to trade. Never mind. I thought they were sucking.
No.
They're 20-16.
The other thing, too, though, if you trade Shohei Ohtani, you're punting on attendance the rest of the year.
Yeah, no one in LA will show up.
Angels.
No, but that's my point. Like, Moreno's an idiot.
Yeah,
he's a terrible owner.
That's what I'm saying.
But he's not going to punt on attendance because he knows people are going to come to see Ohtani.
So, no, they're not going to do it because they're in the mix of it. So
it's May 9th.
As I'm pulling a Fulton here. Okay. They're 2 games back. They're in the mix.
It's May 9th.
Number one.
They're not eliminated yet. They're not eliminated.
It's May 9th.
They're in it right now.
So there were 8 players on this list from Jim Bowden. 5 of them are in the AL Central. Number 1 was Lucas Giolito, White Sox starter.
Goes tonight.
Eduardo Rodriguez of the Tigers was 2. Chapman was 3rd. And then they also had Brad Keller 7th and Javi Baez 8th. Javi is really bad right now.
You do realize
Javi Baez.
that we are a Twins loss or a Yankees win away from the American League East having all better records than the best team in the Central. The Yankees are 19-17. The Twins are 19-16. It can almost go all the way down. 8 straight teams.
The Central
or
is
10 straight teams.
As it is every year, the worst team in baseball, worst division in baseball. The Central is never good. It's just 5 collections of crap.
And the Royals don't get the benefit of playing that crap more often than not.
Stupid balance schedule.
I thought you liked the balance schedule.
I do.
I don't. It's trash. It's garbage. Like the Royals and Whites. We used to joke about how the White Sox and Royals, it felt like they played every other day. It got to May 8th before they played a divisional team.
Yeah.
Nah, it's trash. Garbage schedule. Plus, interleague is already dumb. Throw interleague in the garbage. Just play your divisional teams. It should be like divisional game, different division. Divisional games, different. Like you should just alternate it all year. I'm balanced schedule. Trash.
When there wasn't a universal DH, I would agree with this sentiment. Now that the DH exists, the difference between the American League and the National League is really non-existent, and so I don't care.
Boy, you're really going to hate it when they expand it to 32
and everything is realigned.
Have all sorts of realignment, and the Royals and the Rockies and the Astros and the Rangers are all going to be in the same division.
Yeah, I think I would rather have an 8-team. I would rather have 4 8-team divisions.
I think that's what's going to happen.
That's what I would rather have.
Yeah.
Than what would it be? 8 4-team divisions. Yeah, I would rather have that. For sure.
I think that's going to end up happening in the next 10 years. That's what it's going to be. There's going to be some team, whether it's the A's or, Portland or Vegas, add one there. Nashville, they are getting a team in Nashville. They guaranteed getting a team. And there's your 32 teams. I'll line them up elsewhere. I know you want Montreal. If Montreal ends up being there, it's on the east side. We're getting 8 4-team divisions. There we go. That's going to happen. 10 years.
I'd rather have the bigger divisions, though, because I would rather keep as many rivalries together as possible. Like, the AL Central is great. There's no good rivalry in the AL Central.
No, the Royals don't have a rival.
Yeah, so you can put them anywhere. But, like, the NL Central, for example, all of those teams, except for the Brewers, because they're the newest, the Pirates, the Reds, the Cubs, and the Cardinals, they've all played each other for 100 years.
Yeah, they hate each other.
Like, that group should certainly stay together. And the Brewers have been in that division for a long time, although they were in the AL for a while. The NL East, those should stay together. The Red Sox, Yankees, Orioles, like that should, and probably the Blue Jays, that should stay together. The Rays you can put anywhere. You can put them in any division. No one cares. Absolutely no one cares.
Not even the Rays.
A lot of the Western teams should stay together.
Dodgers, Giants, need to stay together.
Yeah.
And Diamondbacks. I mean, that's
you have to.
Long history there.
You have to.
Who do the Chiefs play opening day?
I got to pull up the opponents list here. I don't think it's going to be like the biggest of the big games, to be honest with you. Like, I don't think it's going to be Chiefs Bengals opening night.
No, I don't think so either. They're going to save that game.
I know they don't like to do divisional games that day. I almost think a divisional game makes more sense. Did you see what Mrs. Kelsey said today on a Facebook post or a Facebook comment?
How did she know? Well, she's plugged
Kelsey's
in.
got power, man.
She's plugged in with Raj now.
I know.
Yeah, that's why she was texting Rod.
Maybe that was one of those planned leaks they do. Because they do have some of those. They're like, oh, Michael Strahan on Good Morning America is going to announce Week 4 Monday Night Football. Wow. Jaguars, Broncos. Hell yeah.
Donna Kelsey, Facebook, not a post in the replies. No, I don't think so.
So if you assume...
But if that's the case, she did say Eagles versus Chiefs week 2.
Week
and that
2.
means the Chiefs are starting home.
Yeah. So if you assume it's not a divisional game, and you assume that it's not the Eagles, and I'll follow that report from Germany that it'll be Bears Chiefs in Germany. That leaves you with Bills, Bengals, Dolphins, Lions.
Ain't the Lions.
It ain't going to be the Lions. I don't think it... Like, if I'm the NFL, I'd rather have Bills, Chiefs, and Bengals, Chiefs mean something later in the year. Like, I'd rather play those games in week 8 and week 14.
I don't, because I want the Bills and the Bengals to be one of the teams week 1 because the Chiefs will win, because that's all they do is opening weekend games. Opening your games, they win. And they crush people.
Well, right, but I'm not looking at it from that perspective.
I know you're looking at it as a fan perspective.
Yeah.
I'm looking as I want to get a guaranteed win.
Well, I'm more looking at it from the NFL's perspective. Like, what is the bet? Because here's the thing. It doesn't matter if it's the Bills or the Bengals or the Eagles or the Chargers or like the 2007 Patriots. That game is going to pull in gigantic ratings because it's Patrick Mahomes. Really doesn't matter who they play.
No, it's week 1 or opening game.
Opening game, yeah. I'll say the Dolphins. I'll say it's Miami.
We said these are the 3. It's either Chargers, Dolphins, or Eagles. I'm not buying the Donna Kelsey, no.
I would be okay with it being the Chargers. I just don't know if they'll make that a divisional game.
So here's my thought process on the Chargers, because that's one of the ones that I'd put up there. One, they showed you they're willing to do it early because they did Chargers Chiefs as a marquee game last year. It was the first Thursday night game, week 2. You know, they basically kind of kicked off Amazon Prime Thursday Night Football with Chargers Chiefs. The other part is the NFL, as much as they are fine with it not being a big draw game, normally don't want it to be a squash. Like, they would like it to be competitive. Chargers Chiefs historically is competitive. Like, end of the day, you book that game, you're going to get a 4-round slugfest. So that's kind of my thought on why Chargers could, if they go division. Now, Brandon, I think you make a valid point. They do historically not want to do division games on opening night. That would put a definitely a point in the no column. But if they would do a division game this year to open the season, you do Chiefs Chargers.
It would be interesting to Dolphins would be my second pick because I do think it might be the Eagles.
They have done a divisional game twice. It was 2012. They did Cowboys Giants after Super Bowl 47, and they did Bears Packers in 2000. What year was that? 2019 for the 100th year.
Yeah, that doesn't count though, because it wasn't the Super Bowl team. That's why that year doesn't count.
Yeah,
like I get why they did it. That makes sense. 100 years, Bears Packers. I got that. Yeah. But the Chiefs are going to have the opening game. That's not, well, it's the 105th year. Woo,
I think I would prefer that it is the Chargers. I think they will do the Dolphins.
And I will say on the Dolphins side, there's storylines there that they can hype up.
Yeah.
Which we know the NFL with how they like to market things, that they can market some storylines with it too. If they can add any ounce of juice to a thing that already has juice, they will keep doing it.
I feel bad for Tua. Not only the fact that he's had like 400 concussions and that his dad beat him, but Tyreek Hill is writing a bunch of checks with his mouth that his ass can't cash. And Tua is the one who then gets caught in the crosshairs of it. I feel bad for him.
You're 100% correct. Yeah.
I'm a Tua guy, but
you are a Card King member of TuaNon.
I am fairly realistic about what he is at this point, but I also think, dude,
it's not helpful that his star receiver won't shut up about things.
Remember,
Tyreek Hill shutting up, not going to happen.
Remember, it needed to be said. There's a reason that's what he named his podcast. Because he just
buddy, it did not need to be said at all one time ever, period.
All righty. Last Royals question I've got for you. Today's Tuesday. It's Odds Makers Day. Fulton knows what's coming. Brendan, what are the odds the Royals lose 100 games?
So what are they right now?
They got
10 and 26.
10 and 26. That's a 27% win percentage, which equals out to like 46 games or something like that.
45 exactly.
Pretty good math.
That's very good math. I think last time I said 40%.
Yes.
You were 48%.
48%.
I got you tracked in here too.
I'm going to knock it down slightly.
47.
Optimistic Brendan?
I'm going to give it 45%.
Oh, look at you.
I will waver on that between now and 2 weeks from now when we crosstalk again. The reason I'm going to move it is I do think that we are seeing progress from the young bats. Like, I think it is very clear this team can hit. They are able to put guys on base. RISP is rispy business. But overall, like, when you talk about your top 5 in your lineup, if you're looking at some order of Witt and Sal and Melendez and Pasquantino and, throw someone else in there, that's decent. You can score with that.
Garcia's hitting the ball.
Yeah, Michael, fine.
Michael Garcia, Nick
great.
Prado, you have options.
Yeah, Prado had a really nice weekend, by the way.
He really did.
Like, if you can score with that, and there will be some games, we've seen plenty of them recently, where the Royals will just put up, like a combined 20 runs, and they might lose some of them, like 13-7. But there are also going to be a few games where they just out-hit their opponents. So I do think that'll happen. This pitching's terrible, though. We talked about it yesterday. Like,
we don't talk about that.
It's like
it's like Fight Club. We don't talk about it.
It's like an existential thing. Like, I couldn't even be excited about the game on Sunday when the offense looked good, the pitching looked good. Because Ryan Yarbrough got hit in the face.
Yeah,
but also, like, you just know that it doesn't last, because then poking out around the corner is Jordan Lyles. And then coming around the corner, oh God, it's Brady Singer. Like, it just doesn't feel good, because you know it can't last with these guys.
All right, last thing. What is the temperature in your house right now?
I don't know. I genuinely do not know.
We don't have degrees?
Probably warmer.
Are you like do you at least have a fan going on?
Here's the thing: we ran the AC last night.
Oh,
Abby is not Abby. We try to save money where we can. We don't run it,
Abby.
We don't run it all day, every day. But no, like, when I can tell she's hot, which is sometimes like I can just tell, and sometimes it's, oh my God, it is so hot in here.
Yep.
I will badger her about, we can put it on. It's okay to put it on. Like, we'll do it. I'll put it on, for a little while before
she's too nice. She'll be like,
asleep.
No, Brendan, it's okay.
Yeah.
She's way too nice to be like, no, we're putting it on.
Occasionally it will get to that point. I think we were a little resistant to, like, it's too early in the year, because we got to get used to it a little bit first. But no, I will put it on.
Okay.
But I'm also worried about someone else's comfort. When I lived alone,
that's what I'm saying.
This man is a walking love
You
illusion.
would sleep in 90-degree weather, you crazy person.
Toss the top sheet on. Oh yeah, we're good.
What is wrong
See,
with
I
you?
couldn't even do that. I am uncomfortable in 78-degree weather sleeping at night.
I've told you before, when I was a freshman in college, I used to turn the heater on in my dorm and then sleep under all of my covers, no matter what time of year it was. And I'd wake up disgusting. But
I can't talk to you right now.
Best sleep I've ever had in my whole life. I was knocked out.
Absolutely
awesome.
You have no...
Dude, I try not to judge you for a lot of things, but this is just a take I can never get
I'm
behind.
judging so hard right now. You're a crazy person.
It ruled. I slept so well.
Okay. See, Abby is here for so many good things, and one of them is turning the air on. Brendan, we appreciate the time, man.
No problem.
Brandon Brzezinski, 580 Sports Talk. Interested to hear more what they got about Brad Keller. Coming up, we will get a little severe weather update, and we'll talk Chiefs K-State over and unders. Fulton, hour number 3 here on this Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you stopping by. We're leading you into 580 Sports Talk, Little Royals baseball tonight. Will be some severe weather coming on through. Hopefully the Royals game will be played. But Royals baseball, 6:40 first pitch, 6 o'clock pregame coverage right here on your home for Royals baseball. We got a little odds makers that we will get to. And we'll see where young Fulton has the Royals. Losing 100 games. I think it's going down. You were in a rough patch. I think it's going to go down. We'll wait and see.
Interesting.
We'll get to that.
Interesting.
As always, hit us up on our text line, 785-272-9429. Let us know your thoughts. We're going to go to a little college football. Chris Kleiman got paid to the tune of $5.5 million. $44 million over the next 8 years. Do you remember in 2020 during COVID and athletic departments were like, we don't have any money. We don't have any money.
I remember that lie.
What a lie. What a lie.
I have a special just bit of advice to everyone out there who kind of likes sports. When those in power of a athletic league, you know, owners, professional teams, high-level administrators for Power 5 sports and athletics, when they tell you that they are poor, they are lying to you. And I need you to always know that. When baseball teams tell you they're poor, they are lying to you. If an NBA team tells you they're poor, they're lying to you. NFL teams at least know just not even to try. I appreciate that. The NFL doesn't try. They just don't even like to pretend that they're losing money. No, because they're making it hand over fist. When they tell you they don't have money, they are always lying to you. Always. 100%. They're always lying.
Well, we are going to talk a little about some college football. Chris Kleiman is now going to make $5.5 million a year.
Good for him.
If you go with what they made last year, all right, Mike Gundy made $7 million. He's now making $7.6 million.
Yeah, give him a raise after bad years. Good call.
Well,
I know it's
just the escalators.
I know they didn't actually do that, but it's still fun for me to say.
Yes. Sonny Dykes made $6 million. Dave Aranda, $6 million. Campbell, $5 million. Leipold, $3 million. Brown, $4 million. McGuire, $3.6 million. Okay. Now, coming up in 2023, some of those I haven't been able to find the exact numbers, but if you go by, you know, just an increase of a little bit, unless we were told that they are making more, like Lance Leipold is now making $5 million a year. Chris Kleiman, $5.5 million. So that means out of the 10 coaches in the was Big 12, all right, not anymore because you got BYU, Cincy, UCF, and Houston. So that means Chris Kleiman is making $5.5 million, which is more than Campbell, more than Leipold, more than Brown, and more than McGuire. So he is 5th in the Big 12 at $5.5 million. Aranda, Dykes, Venables, Sark, and Gundy, 6th. Right in the middle, though. Aranda makes $6 million, Dykes makes $6 million, Venables, Sark, and Gundy making over $7 million. I think it's about right.
Yeah.
I think this is about right. K-State fans, for 20 years, you got a gigantic bargain out of Bill Snyder because all he wanted was $3 million. That's not the case anymore.
The world has changed.
So Kleiman making 5.5, you bet. When you take out Sark and Venables for 2024, Kleiman will make, $6 million, and he'll be right behind Gundy and probably right behind Dykes and Dave Aranda, or right around there. So he'll be near the top because Houston ain't going to pay their coach $7 million. UCF, who is the coach of UCF?
Gus Malzahn.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Gus Malzahn's at UCF.
Yeah, the Gus bus. That's right.
Obviously, we know about Dana at Houston. Stocky's still at BYU, right?
Yes.
Okay. Still Kalani Stocky.
Cincinnati hired because Fickle just left. Oh my
goodness. Is it Satterfield? Did they just hire Satterfield?
Oh, I have no idea.
I think Cincinnati just hired Scott Satterfield away from Louisville.
Yes, they did. Yes, yeah. It is Scott
because
Satterfield.
Louisville and Cincinnati played in a bowl game and it was a whole thing.
Yeah. So they got Scott Satterfield. So, yeah, Chris Kleiman's going to be top 4 paid head coach, which in the Big 12, he deserves it.
Deservedly so. Up there at how good of the coach he is in the Big 12.
No arguments there. What also came out this week is the win totals for KU and K-State.
It's a great time.
Last year, if you listen to this show at all, and if you were able to put a wager on a futures bet, which is like a season win total over, under, that type of thing, you were gifted free money. One by KU's over 2.5.
Which Brennan and I both told you blood bank guarantee was hitting. And we were right. And you.
Thank you.
Listen, I'm going to give the KU guys the credit for the KU over.
Well, you shouldn't credit. You're too close to the situation for that. So you need to listen to me.
And don't listen to KU hater Jake LeBon.
If anything, there you go. That was a guarantee win 3 games.
Yeah.
K-State's over under was 7.5.
We all told you take it.
That was a lock. A lock.
Mm-hmm. I was a very profitable man off KU and K-State last year, and I thanked them.
I was as well. Now, this year's a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, my free ride on KU win total over is already dead. This one's going to be tough.
We're going to start with the reigning Big 12 champs.
Start with the Cats.
Kansas State, they've got their over-under this coming year at 8.5. Okay? A lot of this, the comfort of them getting the over, to me, is going to be determined by 2 games. And if they win the first one, I'm feeling good. If they win the second one, then I think Kansas State will be a lock to get to 9 wins.
Okay.
They got to get to 9.
Yep.
It does not count the bowl game. This is a regular season prop.
Okay.
So you'd have to go 9-3 if you are Kansas State, which to me, it is much more difficult to go from 7 wins a year to 9 wins than it is from 3 wins to 6 wins.
Yeah.
KU showed that easily last year. it's easier to go from 3 wins to 6 wins. It is very difficult to go from 7 wins to 10 wins. So to me, there are 2 games on the schedule for the Kansas State Wildcats that I look at and go, if they win these games, I think they will win 9. Now, you can be the jokester and say they don't play OU this year. That sucks because K-State beats OU, and that's a guaranteed win that's not there.
Yeah.
That's funny to say, but also kind of true.
Yeah. It's both funny and accurate.
And I think a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this because of how big of a beatdown it was in Manhattan. But I think the Missouri game is going to be an important one.
Yeah.
Because if you go 3-0 in the non-con, and some people say, Jake, they're going to win and beat Missouri. It's at Missouri. K-State has lost. They lost 4 guys to the draft. Okay.
Including 2 to the top 44 picks.
And 3 of those were on the defensive side. Okay.
Yeah.
To just say, oh, that game's good. But if you win your 3 non-conference games,
got to win 6 conference games.
then you can go 6-3 in the in your conference games. Which, honestly, I feel like KU or K-State should beat Iowa State. I feel like K-State should beat KU. I feel like K-State should beat Houston. I feel like K-State should beat Texas Tech. And then it comes down to me, your games that could be close, which are at Oklahoma State, TCU, at Texas, and Baylor.
Mm-hmm.
And of those games, I think at Oklahoma State, to me, those are the 2 games I look at for Kansas State. If Kansas State can win at Oklahoma State and win at Missouri, they will start off the season 5-0. Because I think they're going to beat UCF, they'll beat Troy, and they'll beat Southeast Missouri State. They're going to start 5-0. And I think they should beat Texas Tech on the road. But they then come back home and you get TCU at home. And then Texas on November the 4th. Those are the 2 games. If I were a betting man, and I am, I will take the Cats to finish the year 9-3. I will take the over as of now. I will take the over for Kansas State. I think the 3 games that they can possibly lose are TCU, at Texas, and Baylor. Those would be the 3 games that I look at and go, they can lose there. That's why the Oklahoma State game and the Missouri game are very, very important.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with you on the importance of those 2 games. I would take over on K-State because I see realistically 3 losses unless K-State shoots itself in the foot. Because I think Texas and Baylor are tough games. And TCU, after what they did last year, I'm intrigued with what they do this year. It's not a guarantee because they also lost talent.
Yep.
You know, Max Duggan was a great college quarterback. He's gone. You know, Quentin Johnston, Darius Davis, gone.
Kendra Miller,
gone.
Yeah, correct. No question.
I mean, Travis Hodges Tomlinson, gone.
Fun fact, the Big 12 actually had some good guys.
They really did. But everything else, like, I think KU will be a tough game. I think that's going to be really close this year. I still think K-State's just ahead. I think there's just a talent disparity.
Until KU really makes it a game, I'm going to take K-State every time.
Dude, I'm right there with you. And you know me. I love nothing more than to pick KU to be winning that game. But it's just, until I see it, I can't. But I'm like, K-State shouldn't lose to Iowa State. K-State shouldn't lose to Houston. K-State shouldn't lose to Texas Tech. K-State shouldn't lose to UCF. They should not lose any of those 3 non-con.
No,
I get the point of at Missouri State. They shouldn't lose to Missouri.
They should.
And I'll say this. They shouldn't lose to Oklahoma State. Because I asked you this question. Who the hell is playing quarterback for that team?
On the road in that stadium, that's why. Because
and I know I'm kind of moving to a long point in this. I think the ship has sailed on Oklahoma State.
Okay.
I think the ship is sailing. And we are currently watching the downfall and the end of the Mike Gundy era. Because it starts for me this year with Oklahoma State, this simple thing. And we'll get into it a lot more when we get to more college football, later in the year. It starts me with Oklahoma State. Who the hell is playing quarterback for that team? Who? Alan Bowman? They brought him in from Michigan.
Yeah.
That's your starting quarterback? Gunnar Gundy, Garrett Rangel? I know it is different, and they're like road games are always hard.
Yes.
Road games are always a chance to lose. But I really feel like with how K-State should be, my feeling at how they're going to be able to replace some of the talent they lost, I think their offense could honestly maybe take a step forward. I don't know what it's going to be like because you're replacing Deuce Vaughn, which is hard.
And replacement
that's hard.
Yeah.
Another year of Will Howard apparently becoming the greatest quarterback in the country. Got Avery Johnson could win the job, and that kid is lightning in a bottle.
I think you will have packages for him because he is so
You
fast.
have to. If he doesn't win the starting job over Will Howard,
he won't.
Which is a crazy thing to say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We talked all last year
Yes.
about how Avery's going to come in and walk in and take the job.
It's
and
one
then
of the-
Will Howard became a mixture of Dan Marino and Joe Montana.
Exactly.
Still, no matter what, all that aside, I do really honestly think K-State, they should be able to get to 9. I'd be surprised if they can't get to 9.
Ready?
Draw.
I'm going to give you a quarterbacks, right?
Okay.
L. Roberson, Colin Klein, Will Howard. What do they all have in common? Led K-State to a Big 12 title. Yeah, banana land.
I hate
know.
saying those words.
I know. It's banana land.
So, I was a noted Will Howard hater.
The 8.5, they got to go 9-3. It is tough to go 9-3.
It's tough.
It is
because your margin for error is so small.
Correct.
But I really think K-State can do it.
Yeah. And as much as fun as we poke at Texas, Chris Klieman has never beaten Texas.
Yeah.
So
we poke a lot of fun. And listen, I'll poke all the fun I want. They got Arch Manning sitting there with Quinn Ewers. Like that quarterback, whoever it is going to be able to sling. Because much crap as I'll give Quinn Ewers for a lot of the year, he did start playing well to end the year. So you got Quinn Ewers, you got Arch Manning.
I'm going to pick Texas to beat K-State right now because
it's on the road too.
They've never beaten,
and they've done it with Klieman.
They've not beaten. Klieman has solved the Oklahoma issue. That's why
he's got to solve the Texas problem.
Fun. They lost the win there. But so I'm going to go with. I'm going to take the over.
I would too,
but not as much as I was.
It's not as confidently as I said last year.
No, that is.
It's not dripping with that same confidence.
That's the one thing that was a bummer last year.
Yeah.
Was a gift.
Yeah.
It was a gift from
free money.
Gambling gods.
Free money.
And they went 9-3 last year, despite losing to Tulane.
Yeah.
So they lost to TCU, lost to Texas. Those were their teams. So I'm going to take the over.
Yep.
That's why that game against Missouri is so important.
I agree.
All right, KU. It was free money last year.
Yeah, it was
easy money.
Not this year.
This year the line is 6.5.
I hate having expectations. Man, I already missed just everyone not thinking about it.
Here's the thing. This is the one thing I'll say with 6.5. That means they got to go 7-5 regular season.
Yeah.
You have to go 3-0 in the non-con.
Yeah.
If you could argue their two most important games are Illinois and Nevada, okay? Because if you don't beat Illinois and you don't beat Nevada, you have zero chance of winning 7 games. Zero. None. Okay? Those are their two most important games. If they start 3-0, you can cobble together 4 wins in Big 12 play, right?
Yeah.
Cincinnati, Iowa State, Texas Tech, UCF, BYU. Their schedule is not the crazy hard schedule. Now, I know they got Oklahoma and Texas, and they're one of just 3 teams that has to play both of those guys. But you don't have to play Baylor.
Nope.
That's a difficult contest, okay? You don't.
So just historically, Baylor beats the tar out of KU.
Destroys them. Just destroys them, okay? So we got some more severe weather that we'll get to. That's our good old severe weather sounder. So, but Cincinnati, Texas Tech, who knows what Iowa State's going to happen right now because their whole entire football team, their whole entire athletic department, Jamie Pollard, you got some stuff that you got to figure out right now.
Teach your kids to be smarter.
Yeah, for real. But Cincinnati,
Yeah.
New head coach, don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Texas Tech's at home. Iowa State, who knows? UCF, BYU, don't know about BYU. Like, there's a path for KU to win 7 games. They're not beating Texas. They're not going to beat Oklahoma. Just don't see that happening. I don't think they're beating Kansas State. I don't know. But the thing is, I don't know if they can beat Illinois. I don't. Now, Illinois, a little different this upcoming year.
Mhm.
Lost some talent.
Yeah, they did.
Nevada, it's on the road.
Yeah, you're out in Reno.
It's different there.
I'll say this for Illinois. KU, if they showed us anything, and the thing that I think they will still be able to do next year, they can put up points on damn near anyone. Illinois' problem last year can't put up points that well.
The difference, though, and I don't know how good their defense is going to be because
they
lost
just lost their
some studs.
two corners who were one was a 6th overall pick.
Yeah, but their defense was salty.
It was.
So if they don't win their 2 non-conference games against Illinois and the Wolfpack, they're not getting to 7 wins. Okay, that's not.
It'd
happening.
be a very, very big uphill battle.
If they go 1-2, can you find a way to get 5 wins in Big 12 play? Then that means you're going to have to go Cincinnati, Tech, Iowa State, UCF, and BYU. There's no room for error. None. 0 room for error if you don't beat both of them.
Mm-hmm.
If you somehow win both of them, then you can stub your toe one time. So let's say it is Iowa State gets it because it's on the road. Now you got to go perfect. You got to beat Cincinnati, Tech, Iowa State, Cincinnati, Texas Tech, UCF, BYU, Oklahoma State. There's your 5. If you stub your toe against Illinois. So that's why I think if I had to put more confidence into one of these overs real quick, I would put it more into K-State.
Oh, if you're putting confidence in an over, you put it in K-State hands down.
Because I think they can get to 9 wins easier.
KU, you're also, I mean, we all, including myself, think that they're going to repeat that success they found last year. They've only done it once. Like, they got to also show this is a new consistent thing, too. Like, I'd probably take KU on the over just because I'm going to be optimistic. But at the same time, it's not easy. It's not easy.
No.
And it is dependent on if they can go 3-0 in the non-con. If they can beat Missouri State, beat Illinois, and beat Nevada, that does set you up better to just needing 4 wins in Big 12 play. And that, I think, is very doable.
Yeah. If you go 3-0 in the non, you
very
with
doable.
this new Big 12, it is very, very doable.
Yeah.
I would lean towards hitting the over for KU because I don't know what's going to happen with Iowa State.
No, I don't know. My 2 big question marks for the Big 12 outside of the new members, because I don't know what they're going to look like, is how competitive is Iowa State this year, because they're in athletic department turmoil after whatever all they got going on over there. And then, as I said, I'm out on Oklahoma State, man. I'm out. I think, I mean, they're not going to be like 2-10 basement bad, but like, I do not think they're going to be good this year. In the world we live in and the age of football we live in, and it applies to the college level as well, not as big at other levels, but it applies to the college level as well. Quarterback makes the world go around. And I cannot tell you that Oklahoma State's going to put a competent one on the field. I cannot tell you that. And that's a problem.
Those are some good numbers. They really are. The other numbers for the Big 12, Texas at 9.5. They going 10-2?
No. Take Tinder in Texas, set your free money. They're going to slip up to somebody because they always do.
Texas has to play Alabama.
They're losing to Alabama.
Okay. That means then they have to they can only lose 2 more times. That's it. They'll beat Rice. They'll beat Wyoming. But are they going to, or no, they can only lose 1 more time. Beg your pardon. If they lose to Alabama, they can only lose 1 more time the rest of the year.
You think they're going with only 1 loss through the Big 12 schedule?
No.
There you go. Because they are not going down to Tuscaloosa and winning that game.
No, I don't think so either.
No, not a chance.
No. The other one, find interesting. Oklahoma 9.5. Their non-conference schedule, they will beat Arkansas, SMU, and Tulsa.
Arkansas State, to be specific.
What did I say? Arkansas?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Arkansas State.
Which the distinction is important
The
there.
Wolves, yes.
Wolves.
They're going to win those 3.
Yes.
And so,
can they get 6 wins in the Big 12? What was it? 8.5 or 9.5?
9.5. They're gonna
7 wins.
They have to go
Big 12.
7-2 in the Big 12.
That's
doable.
Yeah,
that is doable.
Yeah, because I got some cupcakes.
Well, the main thing is they don't play K-State.
They don't play K-State, so they don't have that auto loss.
That's
And they get
huge
West
boot.
Virginia, who is probably going to be the worst team in the conference.
Yeah. So I think they probably can get to 10.
Yeah.
Because their schedule is pretty easy.
Yeah.
That'll be a fun one though. They got to go to BYU.
That's
be a
gonna be really
That'll
fun.
be a fun one there. So we'll get a quick timeout. Little odds makers coming up next. The Royals lose 100 games. They are 3-4 in their last 7, mind you.
Yeah, they are. That's a positive development. That is a positive development. That's all I'm going to say. No, so last time we did this, because last time we had, I believe, this segment, I don't think you were here. I don't know. Either way. Last time I have this recorded as data for the segment. I was at 9%. Folks, we're down to 7. We're down 7.
7%. Compared to Brendan's 45.
Yeah, Brendan is very listen, I'm the most optimist person here.
Yeah, it's
And
fact.
that'll forever be the case. But no, because where we're basically at is, do you believe that the Royals offense you are seeing now is more representative of what they are in reality than what we saw to start the year? That's basically what we are. That essentially is what you have to ask yourself in this entire overall thought experiment is, if you think they're more like what they started the year as, and this is the blip that's fake, well, then you're going to think they're horrible, terrible, going to lose 110 games. If you, like me, think that this is more indicative of what they actually are, they're not going to score 7 runs a game constantly. But I said when the season started, I thought they could score 4 to 4.5 runs per game. This is more of what that is. I think the pitching eventually will balance out enough that I think they can start winning even more games. I don't think they get to 100. I think they avoid it. How much they avoid it by, I think, is still a very interesting question because they are at 10-26. They are staring down the barrel of some not great things. But overall, I do feel that they can play well enough to finish everything out that they will be able to stay out of the 100-loss column.
All righty, let's do some math.
Okay, let's do math.
All right.
Just some back of the napkin math.
All righty. They're 10-26 right now. All right. So that means they've got 126 games left, right?
Sure.
Or I beg your pardon. Yeah, 126 games left.
Because they
'Cause
played 36.
36, okay? So that's 126 left.
Yeah.
They got to get 53 more wins to avoid 100 losses.
Correct.
Okay? So that means if we got 126 games left and you need 53.
Yeah.
So we are looking at
It's what, 53 and 73 to finish the rest of the season?
Yes. Can they go 53 and 73? And if I'm not mistaken, 53 and 73 are both prime numbers, so that sucks. So we can't whittle that down any further.
No, we really can't. That's unfortunate math. The answer is yes. 20 games under 500. Can they, the rest of the way from this exact moment in time, from May 9th onwards, can they be 20 games under 500?
Here's the problem with that.
What's the problem with that?
Right now, there's 16 games under 500. So it's
if but with the math here, if we're treating this as 0-0 for this record we're talking about, can they be just 20 games under? Yes.
So I'm not. I think so, but we're talking about percentage.
I know.
I'm gonna say
we're playing some annoying math here.
I'm gonna say 30%. They're gonna lose.
That's fair. I'm not gonna judge that.
They got to go 53.
I'm not gonna judge that.
And 73. Ooh, that's one bad stretch. It's happening. That's one 10-game losing streak, and it's happening.
Yeah, well, let's hope that doesn't happen.
2 6-game losing streaks, and it's happening.
Well, let's hope that doesn't.
Do you see what I'm saying though?
I understand.
Because let's say they have 2 5-game losing streaks. So that's 10 right there. Out of the bit. So then they got to go 53 and 63.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
If we're looking at this in the idea of from this moment forward, they go 20 games under 500. If you look at what they've done up to this point to get to 16 games under 500, the teams they've played, how they themselves have played, like the odds are that they will play a level better than they did to get to 16 games under 500 the rest of the way. And a good meat of their schedule is already gone. Like some of the hardest teams they'll face are already gone. And then, more importantly, and we will get into this more as, the week goes on here and everything, the pitching will get better by virtue of the different bodies that will enter the room.
AV.
It will get better.
Hopefully.
By virtue of the bodies that will enter the room, it will get better.
Yeah. I just know that they're going to have 2 5-game losing streaks the rest of this year. That's going to happen. They're going to lose 5 in a row twice.
Yeah.
So that means Can they go 53 and
Yes.
63? That's tough. That's basically 500 almost.
I think this team will surprise you in their ability to win more games as
All
the
right,
summer
we'll
moves
see.
on and we go into
We'll
August
see.
and September.
We'll see.
I think they will surprise you. Something that could possibly make you fun if you give yourself good enough odds on it. What are the odds Hunter Dozier is on the Kansas City Royals come July 1st?
July 1st?
July 1st. I will extend it all the way to July 1st.
It should be 100% he's not on the roster. Like, if he's on the roster July 1st, oh my goodness.
I don't disagree.
What are we doing?
Yeah, I don't disagree.
What are we doing? So I'm going to say 100% he should not be on the roster July 1st.
Well, if I made it June 1st, by the end of the month, I just want to see what it changes. It's not how we play this game, but I'm changing the rules on the fly. I just want to see what Jake would change to if I made it an entire month earlier.
I'll drop it to 75%. He should be gone. But if he's on this team July 1st with Drew Waters being fully healthy by that time.
Hopefully by that time.
I mean, I'm expecting Drew Waters by June 1st.
We should, and he is beginning his rehab assignment, but there can be setbacks in rehab processes.
If we're just going July 1st, then Isbell should be back. Garcia shouldn't be going down. Waters should be up. Jackie Bradley Jr. should be Dozier and Jackie Bradley Jr. should be gone 100% by July 1st. No questions asked.
I would agree. This is not an idea originally by me, but it is an idea I fully subscribe to. The minute Nicky Lopez is healthy, I think Hunter Dozier's job is gone. The minute Nicky is healthy, Hunter Dozier's job, I think, is gone. Because you're going to put Nicky back on the 26-man roster. Like, they're not sending Nicky Lopez to AAA because his utility defense, they will value more than anything. He's a left-handed bat, which changes some things up. And you are not sending Michael Garcia down.
No, you can't. Not
so your most likely candidate, Nate Eaton's its own thing. We're going to put him in a corner for this conversation.
He can come.
I think Hunter Dozier goes away because just like I think when Drew Waters comes back, I think Jackie Bradley Jr.'s job is only saved by Kyle Isbell being hurt. Because I think instead of DFAing JBJ, they will send Nate Eaton down when that happens. I think once Waters and Isbell are both healthy at the same time, though, Jackie Bradley Jr. also gets shipped out. But if I said July 1st, I would say 100% he's not on this team by July 1st. If I said June 1st, I'd say about 70% because I think Nicky Lopez is back by June 1st. Because I confidently believe that once Nicky is healthy, Hunter Dozier might say bye-bye.
Yeah.
Because then I just go, who do you do with what? Because you're either sending down Garcia, Massey, or Dozier. Technically, Nick Product we consider there too. But of those four guys, you send out Hunter Dozier. You get rid of Hunter Dozier. Yeah. You can't, with how well the other guys are hitting, justify getting rid of them.
Coming up next, we will preview the lineup is out for the Royals. We'll get to all of that. All that coming up here on Mic'd Up.
NHL star Matt Martin.
Lineup for tonight against Lucas Giolito. Apparently, it's that day that we got to give people off days.
Guys need rest, and that's okay.
This is where our generations are different. I hated off days are that I no.
It's a 162 game season.
I understand that. I do. So the lineup for the Royals does include our favorite player. He has not played recently.
No.
But the Royals lineup, Bobby Witt Jr. playing short, Vinny Pasquantino at first, Sal Perez at DH. Got no problem with that.
Well, half day.
Michael Garcia at second.
Interesting.
Melendez in right field. Dozier at third. Fermin catching. Jackie Bradley Jr. in center field. And Nate Eaton in left field. Now, injuries are an issue right now in the outfield because there's no Kyle Isbell, no Drew Waters. So they
like Jackie Bradley Jr.'s got to play every day because you ain't got bodies.
You just don't have many else to play center field.
And he went 3 for 3 last night. So
that's such an aberration that I'm not even counting that. All right. If you're batting if you had to go 3 for 3 just to get your batting average to 203, that's a problem. But they have nobody else.
No.
I have
Jackie's
no problem.
Got to play.
I have no problem with Salvador Perez at DH and Fermin catching.
Freddie's playing good.
That's not an issue whatsoever. The Nate Eaton in left, whatever, you know.
He's a young guy.
Yeah. What I mean, he's awful, but
I can't refute that, and it bums me.
I mean, he's 1 for 29, dude.
I know.
Come on.
I hate that.
The two guys that I'm going, why aren't they playing? One, I'm okay with Michael Massey, but why are we sitting Nick Prado?
Because he needs a day off.
No, does he really?
Yes. I'm going to try and do this as calmly as possible, but I am sick and tired.
Hold on.
No.
I need to know how many days has he played in a row.
Let's find that out.
I'm going to look here.
Let's discover how many days in a row has Nick Prado played.
So he's played 7 straight games. May 2nd. And actually, no. Scratch that.
His last day, he has not had a day off since he was recalled.
Alrighty.
He's not a day off since he was recalled.
No, on May 6th, he had 1 at bat. All right.
Okay, he was a pinch hitter
That's
on the 6th.
That's a day off. All right.
Okay.
That's a day off.
Okay.
You're trying to tell me Nick Prado. Now, if there's something wrong, we don't know. I will amend that. If he tweaks something and they're like, yeah, you know what? I don't know that yet. So I'm assuming when Matt Cottrell meets with the media coming up at about 4:20 that it will be asked, hey, why are you taking out a guy who has hit in when he's played
Hit well.
4 of his last 5 games?
Yeah.
Why are you taking him out? And
Give him a day.
And if they're like, well, if the answer is giving him a day, I don't like it. He got a day May 6th. He came in the 9th inning to pinch hit. That's a day. All right. I want these guys getting at bats.
Okay.
That's what I would like.
Okay.
Okay. It's Lucas G. He's.
It's not the end of the world to give a guy a day.
I know that. If he had played 7 straight, no days off. Yes. Dude, you literally saw how many pitches did he see that at bat? I don't even know.
Oh, not a lot.
But he went 0 for 1 and he struck out. Okay. He got a day off on May 6th. I don't need you to take a day off May 6th, then you play 2 days, then you get a day off. That's all I'm saying. That's
it is what it is.
That's where
And then I'll say it once and I'll say it again. The Royals are going to run Dozier out every once in a while still, because if they can make him look good, even a smaller sample size, then when they end up moving to DFA him, they can move him to somebody for like a high A prospect. Like, it is what it is. The fact that Dozier's now playing only once or twice a week should be the victory everyone should be fine with. Like, take that and run with it.
Why can't
Take it and run with it.
Why can't he play for, like, if they put Dozier in for Nate Eaton, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, and then, you know what we combine that with? Edward Olivares needed a day off.
Oh, yeah, so Olivares isn't in the lineup today.
No Massey, no Olivares, no Nick Prado. When all that combines, Dozier's playing. When they all line up like that, Dozier's playing. Because if it was just Nick Prado that needed the day off, I actually don't know if we do see Hunter Dozier in this lineup today. I don't know if we do. If it was just Edward Olivares who needed the day off, maybe they get real crazy and they do put Dozier out there over Nate Eaton. I don't know. If Matt Massey didn't need the day off, I don't know.
I will wait and hear what Cottrell has to say. But if he just says, no, we wanted him to have
That's what he's going to say.
Afternoon off, then I'm not going to like it.
This guy getting a day off. It's no big deal.
I want the guy
getting a day.
Hitting against a good pitcher, too.
Yeah.
Get him some reps. Don't need Hunter Dozier in there. Day off. You just had a day off 2 days ago.
Give Prado a day. It's not a big deal. It's not.
Well, this is where we differ.
This is where me and every 50-year-old baseball fan in existence differ.
Yeah.
They all want everybody to be Cal Ripken Jr., and that's not the proper way to play these guys.
I am fully...
no, I know your problem's not the same as them. I know your thing is not days off in general. It's the specific things. I understand. I know.
He had a day off 2 days ago. He didn't do anything. You got up there, swung it 4 times, and then was done.
And for whatever reason, they're giving him another day. They just are.
It's dumb.
It's one game.
It's dumb.
Hunter Dozier plays maybe twice a week. We all need to just live with that.
No, Hunter Dozier played 3 consecutive days last week, the 4th, 5th, and the 6th. Coming up next, we will get to the mic drop. Drop Fulton, what do you got?
It's very simple. Royals, go do that thing where you win 3 games in a row. You haven't done it this year yet, but it'd be really cool if you did. I said when this home game stand started, going 5-5 on the homestand would be a success. To do that, they now need to take 3 of 4 from the White Sox. I didn't believe they could do it until what I saw last night. Until they lose 2 games to the White Sox, they might be able to do it.
No. You said they have to win the series against the A's. You told me that if they don't beat the A's, I will go back.
I will pull the air check to where I said myself to consider the homestand 6 needed to go 5-5.
And I'm going to pull up every single air check before that statement.
Where I did say they needed to take 2 or 3 from the A's. I did say that. I agree.
No, you said if they don't sweep the A's, that is bad.
I agree.
If they do not beat the A's 2-1, then burn it down.
No, you're correct. I was very adamant about that.
So we have moved the goalposts.
Not fully. Partially.
They've moved the goalposts.
Partially.
I want the Bills or the Bengals to play the Chiefs in the opening game because Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid are an absolute lock in opening games of the season. They average 37 points per game. I don't care what the defense is. You average 37 points per game, you're going to win. Coming up next, we got 580 Sports Talk, then Royals Baseball. We'll talk to you tomorrow at noon.